Hey Untold Radio Network fans, want exclusive perks and to support our channel? Introducing our YouTube membership program with 3 amazing levels. Get loyalty badges that level up to different cryptids the longer you're a supporter. How cool is that? You'll also get access to custom Bigfoot emojis and priority in chat. Upgrade to Backstage Pass for exclusive wallpapers, photos, status updates, discounted books, and merchandise. Go all in with the producer level for everything mentioned plus member shoutouts. Ready for an enhanced experience? Join now, pick your membership level, and let's make this journey even more exciting together.
Hey everybody, it's Monday morning here at Untold Radio Studios, and it's time for coffee time. If you're at work, pour a fresh cup, hide from the boss, look busy, don't get caught. It's been beautiful here. Man, yesterday it was sunny with a little breeze, and it was only about 65 degrees, but the sun was so bright, and it just felt awesome being outside in that kind of cool weather. The mosquitoes are starting to make their way out here in Minnesota, our state bird. The mosquito is they're getting bigger. I mean, the first few days you notice them, they're kind of the size of gnats and whatnot, but boy, they're starting to buzz now when they come past. So got to get the citronella candles out, and the gnats were so bad this year too. If it wasn't breezy out and you walked through the grass, man, they were bad. I'm curious to see what people use. You hear all these different old wives' tales and things your grandma told you for controlling gnats, controlling mosquitoes. I'm curious to see what you guys use. If you've got anything that works, put it in the chat. I'd like for the gnats, I go to Bath and Body Works, and they have a body spray called Warm Vanilla Sugar. And you put that on, the gnats don't come anywhere near you. And it doesn't smell bad either. But yeah, been going through the news articles this morning and looked at them last night. And I did a show. I guess the first show I did where I talked about AI was probably about 6 months ago, and then did another one a few months back, about 3 months ago. And boy, it's in the headlines now. I mean, you're starting to see it all over the place on the extinction of humanity. That AI is going to cause the extinction of humanity. And at first I thought, it's just a shock value, 3-ring circus headline here, like you normally see, done with a lot of different media outlets. But it's on the Today Show now. You've got the head of Google, the head of ChatGPT. You got all these CEOs and company executives that are involved in the artificial intelligence field that all made the same statements. And it's one of the reasons why Elon Musk was begging everybody to slow this thing down for 6 months. But yeah, I'm going to play this, and look, I'm not saying, I certainly don't have the data to say, oh, this is going to happen or this isn't going to happen. I'm just simply commenting on the fact that it is being talked about everywhere. And I don't mean just the obscure corners of the room. It's on the Today Show. It's on your mainstream news markets. It's on talk shows. It's just getting a little crazy, but let's give this a watch. And
artificial intelligence could lead to the extinction of humanity. At least that's what a group of AI industry leaders and researchers are saying, including the CEOs of Google, Microsoft, and even ChatGPT. The public statement sounds the alarm on the new fast-paced technology, calling it urgent while comparing the inherent
dealing with some buffering
risks
issues
to a nuclear war and COVID-like pandemics. But it's not the first time a group of experts have warned of these risks. Back in March, Elon Musk and hundreds of others released a statement calling for a 6-month pause in the technology to allow the public to catch up. All of this comes as AI execs continue to push for government regulation, as well as guardrails for the technology before it's too late.
Yeah, so that's all we need is some more government regulation and something. I don't know if that's the answer, but seems to be the first step that they go to when it comes to any type of concern like that. I'll tell you, so many of these news stories, it's either AI stuff they're talking about or lately the UFO or UAP, whatever terminology you want to use. Man, that's just going crazy. You can't find a YouTube channel or anything where they aren't talking about it. Okay, so thank you for the oh boy. Yeah. All right. So this is a news story where 1 in 5 professors say they've had a UFO encounter, survey finds. Thought it was interesting, you know. I paid attention to the stats when it comes to Sasquatch surveys about 3 years ago. 13% of people surveyed said that they felt that a species like that could exist. Then the last year they did that same survey and it was 18%. It went from 13% to 18% in 2 years. But now I've never really paid much attention to the UFO encounter type survey. Here they surveyed just professors. So of all the people in the world who've claimed to have had UFO sightings or encounters, academics don't seem like the likeliest bunch. But a new survey shows that even they've seen things they can't explain. Well, first of all, I'd like to know why they would be excluded from the likeliest bunch. I mean, the fact that they have that they're a professor means that they can't see this stuff. That seems kind of weird that they'd put it that way. In a surprising new study, which surveyed tenured and tenured-track faculty across 144 U.S. universities, 1 in 5 academics admitted they've observed something that could fit the U.S. government's definition of an unidentified aerial phenomenon. Published in the Journal of Humanities and Social Sciences Communications, the survey asked academics around the country and across disciplines open-ended questions about whether they or people close to them have had ever observed anything of unknown origin that would fit the U.S. government's definition of an unidentified aerial phenomenon. Which are broadly described as airborne objects not immediately identifiable. So, yeah, that's 18.9% of them, about just under 1/5. So, for what that's worth, I thought it was interesting just because I think it is nice that they're doing surveys like this so that people can see, you know, if you've had an experience with something like that, you don't have to feel like it's taboo or like you're have experienced something that nobody's ever going to believe or something like that, when there's articles and surveys showing that, you know, almost 20% of people have experienced something like that. So let's see what else we got here. What else did I run into? Well, we'll save that one for later. Oh, that's an interesting article. Pull this up here. Some of you may have heard about this. This is just something that came to a conclusion Friday. This is down in Colombia. A family, a mother and her 4 children, ages 13, 9, 5, and 1, with 2 pilots, crashed. Shortly after takeoff, they had reported they were having some issues with the plane, and the plane crashed. After wandering alone for more than a month, these 4 children were rescued on Friday. Let's see here. Let me get to where it gives us more details on this. Yeah, I want to skip that page. The eldest daughter, Leslie, with the little 1-year-old in her arms, ran towards a rescuer. Leslie said, "I'm hungry." Nicholas Ordonez Gomes, one of the search and rescue crew, told public broadcast channel RTVC. One of the 2 boys was lying down. He got up and said to me, "My mom is dead." We immediately followed up with positive words saying that we were friends, that we were sent by the family, the father, the uncle, that we were family, in a video released Sunday, which showed the children soon after they were found. And kids seemed to be emaciated from their time spent in the wilderness. Now, just to kind of get to the meat and potatoes of this plane crashed May 1st. And they found out now that when they looked at when they were looking at the crash site, which is really a elevated area, they found that the mother did not die on impact, that these children spent, it appears, 4 days with her. There's partially eaten fruit and things around her. And once she died is when they left that area. And 2 weeks after the crash is when they found the plane crash, found the ones that were deceased. But because of this, they knew that those kids were alive, and they've been searching this area for them since it was May 14th or 13th. And so it was a month. They were out there in this jungle for a month. 13 years old, 9 years old, 7 and 1. And they found them. So I thought that was kind of it's sad, but it's also a story of just resilience, that these kids were able to persevere and endure that. Another story I ran across is kind of funny. This is down in Florida. And it's at a pretty crowded beach. They ran out of the tree line, I guess, that's back behind these people, and decided to go for a swim. This is all we have of this video. So I will reserve the right to throw the BS flag later if this is some sort of a domesticated black bear that or whatever. Seems pretty comfortable being around these people, but everybody around it was like, "Holy smokes, it's a bear," So who knows? It's that's what the article says. A crowded Florida beach, this black bear spotted going for a swim. So that is interesting. Anybody who I know, we've got some friends that follow us in chat that are from Florida. If they have heard about this locally, maybe they've got more details on it. Feel free to post them and let us know. So Elon Musk sends a clear message to UFO buffs. So this is pretty interesting. Well, I mean, this has been the talk of about 10,000 YouTube channels lately. Everything that's going on with the whistleblower that came forward. And this is going to get interesting, but let's start from the not from the beginning, but 2020. From time to time, it subsides and then it resurfaces thanks to a personality or a veteran with bona fide military service claiming to have confidential information on the subject. In 2020, former Israeli space security chief claimed that a, quote, galactic federation, unquote, had already been in contact with some Earthlings and had begun to conduct experiments on our planet. The U.S. government, he said, is in very close contact with aliens, but space visitors felt it was too early to come out because humanity was not ready. This does not prevent aliens, according to Haim Eshed, from having built a base with the this is the funny part. From having built a base with the help of the Americans below the surface of Mars. No human has yet been to the red planet. So evidently these aliens couldn't build a base on Mars without having help from the Americans, even though we've never been to Mars. So, oh my gosh, there's the vanity. I mean, it just is. I don't know what to say about that. Does the U.S. have a UFO retrieval program? Haim Eshed was no ordinary ufologist, a retired officer. He began his career in 1969 in military intelligence with a doctorate in aeronautical engineering obtained in the United States. He was at the forefront of new technologies in his country before becoming the boss of the Israeli military space program from 1981 to 2010. His claims have never been substantiated. 3 years later, another ex-military man claims that the U.S. government has a secret unidentified flying objects retrieval program. And that is what you're hearing about now. David Grosh, 36, an Air Force veteran and former member of the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, says that the U.S. government has retrieved a craft of non-human origin, according to News Nation. Grush, who recently filed a whistleblower complaint, declined to provide evidence for his claims to News Nation, taking refuge behind claims of national security. Despite the lack of public evidence, Grush's accounts have been shared and discussed on social media for the past few days. It reinforces conspiracy theory and UFO fans in their convictions. Now, let's go down to Elon Musk, who put out on Twitter the other day a tweet that says, "I have seen zero evidence of aliens for what it's worth." That's what he said on June 6th, which seems to have disappointed a lot of people, according to the comments to that tweet. So that's just an update on what, I mean, in case you have been someplace where you couldn't get on YouTube for the last week and a half, that's just about all that most of these paranormal and UFO channels are talking about is this whistleblower. So be interesting to see where it goes. I think it's going to be really interesting. Just looking at some of the comments that are out there. So let's see, what else do we have? This is probably the most interesting article I've read this week. Inside the cave where a non-human species carved mysterious symbols. So discoveries within the cradle of humankind's limestone caves in South Africa are changing the way scientists understand human evolution. The cavern system, about a half-hour's drive northwest of Johannesburg, is where the first fossils of previously unknown human relatives were uncovered. The UNESCO World Heritage Site contains many hominid fossils and tools, and two textbook-altering finds would not have occurred without a dose of happenstance. 9-year-old Matthew Berger accidentally found Australopithecus sediba, considered a missing link in human history in 2008 when he stopped to study a rock he tipped over while chasing his dog near the collapsed Malapa cave. And Homo naledi, hopefully I'm saying that right, was added to the family tree in 2013 after cave explorers tipped off researchers that there might be something promising within the dangerous depths of the Rising Star cave system. Now the ancient cave has revealed a few more secrets that could rewrite our understanding of what it means to be human. And this is an interesting picture because a reconstruction of Homo naledi's head by paleo artist John Gertsch, who spent some 700 hours creating it from bone scans. Mark Thiessen, National Geographic. A team of explorers has uncovered evidence that Homo naledi buried their dead in carved symbols on cave walls for at least 100,000 years before modern humans. The intentional burials of their dead adults and children were found within the sprawling depths of the Rising Star cave system. Now, this is the interesting part. On the walls above the burials, the team also spotted symbols deeply engraved in the hard rock, showcasing crosses. Think about that. Showcasing crosses, hashtag-like symbols, and other geometric shapes. It's the first time such meaningful behaviors have been observed in a non-human species. H. naledi had a brain about 1/3 the size of humans, causing scientists to question whether Homo sapiens are truly exceptional for having such big brains. Separately, researchers in Spain used drones to see hard-to-reach prehistoric cave paintings for the first time. All right, so It's an interesting picture. I mean, the fact that this isn't just some AI thing, this was actually a paleo artist who must have some pretty good experience from recreating species representations based on bone scans. 700 hours for creating it from bone scans. So you'd have to assume that's pretty accurate. But they buried their dead for 100,000 years before humans. And they put crosses. I mean, different designs, but okay. Now, first of all, I will admit that a cross is a pretty simple design. It's 2 lines, okay? Could just be a design. But the idea that crosses were put over these things 198,000 years before Christ and the association of a cross, I don't know. I'm stuck on that a little bit, but yeah. Anyways, we've got it's an interesting article. I'm anxious to I'm going to do some more research on this because I really liked this rising star cave system where they found all these burials. I'd like to find some videos and pictures of that. I think that would be interesting. So, yeah, let me pull up a couple other things I had set aside here. Let's see. Here we go. Pull this up. This was a video somebody sent me on Facebook. I thought it was kind of funny. Let me get this. So this is a bear and her cubs that decided it was getting too warm out, so they thought they'd jump in somebody's pool. And I think it's just hilarious watching these little bear cubs and how much fun they're having here. She doesn't seem too worried about them, but I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna mute it because I don't want the music to get me in trouble here. I don't know what they've got playing in the background, but yeah, she just brings them by the pool. It's a little hot out, and so they hop in, or at least the one does. Oh, don't chew up the pool cover. Those aren't cheap. Oh, he's gonna chew up the edge of it. That's horrible. Those a friend of mine just had to replace his. Those aren't cheap at all. Yeah, that's adorable. Those bear cubs just having fun in the pool. Yeah, I think that'd be honestly be kind of fun just to sit there and watch out your window and watch the family of bears swimming in your pool. It's time to go home now. So, let's get this to where okay. And let's see what else I got here. There's a couple things that were sent to me in this is a great picture. This lets you know just how lazy some of those road painting crews are when they're restriping the highways. There's a deer that's obviously been dead for about 2 weeks. They just drive by and stripe him. Oh man, that's hilarious. I mean, yeah, it's sad that the deer got hit by a car and died, but this is just ridiculous that the striping crew just came by and striped over it, because it'd be way too much trouble to stop and just throw it in the ditch. But okay, so let's see what else we got here. I think I had another one with a deer in it. Maybe he had a couple of them. Let me. Must have been this one here. Let me pull this up. Oh yeah. So this guy drives by this. This is really strange. This is really strange. I have never seen anything like this. Let me come on. Let's go. So this is a deer eating a snake. This guy's driving by and he films it. I've never seen a deer. I've seen a deer like kick at a snake before. I've never seen one actually eat it. Oh, come on. Look at this. Chomping away. Never seen that before. Where I live is pretty much beans, corn, acorns, even different berries. They come by and eat the flowers sometimes out of our rocks here in front of the house. I've never seen one eat it looks like about a 4-foot long bull snake or rat snake. But that is crazy. Kind of gross, but kind of weird. Anyways, let's see here. It's probably not going to be too long of a show today. I don't have a whole lot to cover and go over. Didn't have a guest set up for this morning. Tonight I'll have Darby Orcutt on Pine Island Research, and we will talk about the North Carolina State upcoming DNA project that he has. I know he's talked about a couple different channels. We'll talk about it in a little more detail, go over the screening sheet and give you the link that you can click on if you've got evidence you want to send in and have it analyzed, which is a great opportunity for people. I mean, this is probably one of the first times that somebody who's got a hair sample or some type of a biological specimen that could be sampled has a resource to send it to and have it done without having to write a $10,000 check with it. Be a part of a great project and see if you can help them move the ball forward and coming up with a genomic imprint that they could establish that proves the existence of a species. We can't call it Bigfoot or Sasquatch until you've got a body. Draw the sample from that, show that it matches the samples you've collected through this project. Then you can call it Bigfoot. Till then, it's just going to be a species X or whatever they label it. But it could show that if everything went right, that they've got more than one genomic imprint that is identical from different samples. from different geographical areas that show a possible part human, part unknown primate bipedal living in North America. So tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern, Pine Island Research here on Untold Radio Network. We will have Darby Orcutt on, and we'll talk some more about that. Other than that, I don't have a lot more to cover today. So I appreciate you guys showing up, taking the time. And we will see you later tonight. Let me see here. I think I've got our outro. Thank you for taking the time and hanging out with us today.